So, good morning. So, start natin yung discussion about yung different chapters para maumpisan nyo na yung proposal ninyo. So, the LMU teaches blueprint, constructing your manuscript with precision and clarity. So, kung sakaling always check yung uploaded URL ninyo sa Google Classroom. Sabi ko nga parang yun yung Biblia ninyo pag nagsusulat ng inyong proposal and yung thesis. Para alam niyo kung paano siya isulat. So, the manuscript will contain, of course, the title page, the approval sheet, abstract, acknowledgement, POC, list of tables, figures, and plates. Tapos ito, chapter 1, 2, 3, and so on and so forth. So, ang pinapa-submit lang natin sa proposal ay yung title page, tapos yung table of contents, yung chapter 1, chapter 2, um, questionnaire, wala dito. Questionnaire and appendices. Bibliography, wala din siya dito. But anyway, yun yung mga need din yung isubmit ASAP para ma-check ko na tapos ma ma-forward na rin sa inyong mga advisors. Okay, so next one. So laying the foundation, the front matter. Of course, the title page, your project's formal name. So may mga in-approve tayo. But again, if the advisor would like to rephrase or revise, it's okay. Syempre kasi advisor ninyo yun. Basta yung ina-approve ko lang ay yung ano, yung sa tingin ko ay okay. But of course, your advisors have their own specialties. Lalo na kayong mga Finman, financial management students, mas gamay ng mga professors niyo na related dyan sa major ninyo yung title proposal. Okay? So, the approval sheet, the official endorsement, ayan. This is for thesis, abstract din, thesis, acknowledgement din. Okay? So, focus muna tayo dito sa title page. So, dito, presents the thesis title, submission statement, faculty, college degree, sought, authors, and academic year. So, meron naman na tayong template or sample para dyan. You can ask yung mga higher years, yung mga nag-undergo na ng thesis, para makuha ninyo yung formatting ng front page. So, yung pagta-type ninyo ng title, naka-triangular format. No? Hindi naman triangular na, exactly triangle. So, paano ba? I'll try to annotate. Okay. Kunwari mahaba yung title, dapat ganyan tapos. Yan. Kung two-liner man, mas mahaba yung nasa taas. Okay? Check yan. Kapag baliktad, parang ganyan, para siyang talampas or mountain, X yan. Ha? So, ganun ang pagsusulat ng inyong title. Triangle, inverted triangle siya. Hindi yung parang bundok. Ganito po. Okay. Must reflect the general research problem. Sample or simple and concise, maximum of 14 words. So, pag nag-exceed na ng 14 words, try to replace it or revise it. Phrase form, not a full sentence. Avoid an analysis of, a study of, an investigation of. Ito yung mga avoid ninyong mga phrases sa inyong title. And also, kapag kung tanggalin nyo na lang yung location, for example, ito, a case study of Metro Manila. Hindi na, wag nang ilagay yung sa local of the study nyo na lang ilagay. So, for example, effectiveness of blah, 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 blah. Ganon. In, in, what? Small businesses, of small businesses in Dagupan City. So, huwag nyo na isulat yung in Dagupan City. Kasi, pwede mo naman na siyang i-discuss sa scope and delimitation. Okay. So, approval sheet, may format for that. advisor, thesis defense, chairperson, and college dean. For now, hindi po niyo pa muna ito gagawin. Sa thesis na po ito. So, focus tayo sa title page. Okay? Okay, hold on. Alam kung paano mag-aral. Ayan. Okay, so next one. So, the abstract, your entire thesis in 250 words. So, again, ang abstract, ginagawa lang ito pag nakapag-float na. So, this will be done in your thesis. For the abstract, dapat nandoon yung research title, andun yung SOP, andun ang findings, conclusion, and keywords. Conclusion and recommendation, kulang dito. So, findings, conclusion, and recommendation, dapat kasama siya sa abstract. So, ang abstract dapat hindi nag-exceed ng 250 words. Okay? Yun. Usually, itong 250 words, hanggang 1.5 pages, okay pa siya. Pero kapag sobrang haba, hindi na siya okay. So, kung kaya siyang ipagkasya sa isang page lang, mas maganda. And also, sa abstract, single space. Okay, single space ang abstract. So, yon. But again, you will not still do this one kasi proposal pa lang yung sa isa. Next one, acknowledgement. So, express gratitude, ayan, keep it brief, sincere, tactful, avoid flattery. So, sa acknowledgement, ayun, ah, ang turo sa amin, no, sandali. Ang turo sa amin, una sa paragraph, ang pasalamatan ninyo yung advisor. Tapos, pangalawa si dean. Pangatlo, panelist. Um, fourth, others who contributed in your study. Okay? So, unang-una ninyong papasalamatan, advisor, kasi siya yung tumututok sa inyo. Sa inyo sila, sa inyo sila nagpapacheck. Oh, I forgot. Wala, hindi ko na siya maano. Advisor, usually advisor and instructor. Advisor and instructor, dean, panelist, others who contributed in your study. Okay? So, ganyan ang, kumbaga, yung per paragraph ay naka-arrange sa pinaka-significant down to the least significant. So, yun. Moving on, table of contents. Ayan, sequential list. Okay. Sequential list, all main and subtopics with page numbers. Formatting number wording must exactly match the examples in the manual. So, ayun, kung paano mo siya name, di ba? Yun dapat yung nandoon sa table of contents. So, yun. Anyway, again, you can have, meron na naman tayong format, marami namang samples. Sundan nyo na lang siya. And ganun din sa tables, figures, and plates. Follows the table of contents. To list all visual data with captions exactly as they appear in the text. So, charts, graphs, are figures. Yung photographs, plates daw. Iba yung tables. So, lists are omitted if there are fewer than 5 tables or figures. So, kung kung isa lang yung table, huwag nyo nang ilagay, huwag nyo nang isulat sa list of tables. No? Kung isa lang yung figure, wag na. Omit na daw. Basta, less than 5 tables and figures, wag nang isama doon sa after ng table of contents. Usually sa proposal, though parang ilan lang ba? Parang dalawa lang ang sa proposal eh. Kasi parang research paradigm or conceptual framework, ayan, figure yan. Yung local of the study, yung mapa, dalawa lang siya. Tapos, sa table naman, yung sources of data. Tapos, ano pa ba? Yung descriptive table, tatlo lang. Usually 2 to 3 lang din. So, no need muna ng list of tables and figures sa proposal unless, again, unless kung meron at least 5 ang meron kayong figures and tables. Okay po. Pero dadami na yan pag thesis nyo na kasi nakakuha na kayo ng results. Next one. Constructing the core, the research chapters. With the foundation set, ayan na pala. So chapter 1, introduction, imran tayo. Introduction, method, results and discussion, and conclusion. So the blueprint for chapter 1 establishes the complete context of your research. So as you can see, ang unang-unang subtopic ay rationale and background of the study. Second is framework. Next is research paradigm. Next is statement of the problem. Next, hypothesis or assumption. Next is significance of the study, scope and limitation, and definition of terms. So, isa-isahin natin. So for the rationale and background of the study, it explains the why of your research. So paano niyo siya isusulat? First paragraph, dapat merong prevailing conditions. From macro view, dapat nakadiscuss dyan global, national, and local. And then, once napunta or na-discuss mo na yung prevailing conditions regarding your topic, moving on to the next paragraph, yung background or what is known. So, try to find existing literature. Yung tinuro ko sa inyo na maghanap ng literature sa mga Mendeley or Google Scholar, ganon. Tapos, pinahanap ko doon yung gap, right? So, kahit na hanapin nyo rin yung what is known, ipasynthesize yun na using your Google Notebook, pwede na yon. But then, again, since it is just in the si Google Notebook kasi hindi naman paragraph ang pagsusulat niya, para siyang naka-bullet form. So, it's your responsibility na isulat yon in paragraph form. Okay? Kumbaga, sinamarize lang yan into bullet form. Right? Yun, sabi ko nga, para maiwasan din yung abuse of AI, patulong lang kayo to synthesize, but you will still write it. It will still be your ideas, right? So from there, once you already know the existing literature, the next paragraph should be the research gap. And what is unknown? Ano ba yung ano ba yung kailangan, ano ba yung butas sa mga, or ano ba yung mga hindi pa nalalaman na area ng study. Okay? So from there, the last paragraph would be your research objectives, how you will fill the gap. And from there, research objectives should be aligned or connected to your SDG or Sustainability Development Goals alignment. So you have to connect the objective kung anong SDG ba. Saan ba konektado yung SDG? Saan bang SDG connected yung objective mo? So that is how you're going to write your rationale and background of study. So nandyan na. So again, first paragraph should be the prevailing conditions, the macro to micro, global, national, local. Second paragraph would be the known or the existing literature. Third one is the research gap. Fourth one is the research objective with SDG alignment. Next one, framework of the study. So it's either theoretical or conceptual. So for the theories, you're going to anchor your study from existing theories. Kung ano yung mga napag-aralan ninyo sa financial management ng mga theory, sa economics na theory, sa marketing theory, ayan, saan ba related yung study ninyo? Doon mo i-discuss dito. I-explain mo bakit mo in-anchor from that study, from that theory yung study mo. Justify mo doon. Ganon din pag sa conceptual frameworks naman, based on concepts, from the word concept nga, di ba? Parang ikaw yung parang from those theories, ano ang nakikita mong konsepto na mabubuo? Yun, ikaw ang parang maggagawa dito. Okay? And dito rin papasok, pwede rin, dito rin papasok yung schematic diagram mo na pwede mong ipasok din dito sa research paradigm. However, we are not talking about the input process output, no? Kumbaga itong ano dito siya sa ano conceptual, to be honest. So, pag-aaralan natin si research paradigm, more on the ism, and we will be talking about the research onion later on para mas mag-gets ninyo. So, yan. For now, we will be discussing first the parts of chapter 1. So, do not use input process output. I want to, ano to, kasi recently lang, legit na recently, nung, nung nag, nung nakipag-meeting kami sa, Rhino, ayun, inadmit naman na hindi IPO si research paradigm. Okay? Again, I will be discussing that later on, maybe on our next topics, once we are already in that, uh, subtopic ng inyong chapter 1. Okay? So, yon. Next one. So, moving on to statement of the problem. So, if your title, sige, sabi dito, main problem. The study investigates the impact of remote work policies of employee productivity and job satisfaction within the tech industry. So let me write. Malamang from that main problem, the title was, or the title is, uh, impact of remote work policies on employment productivity and job satisfaction. So malamang ganyan yung title mo. Kasi i-rephrase mo lang sa main problem. So, this study investigates the title within yung scope, tech industry. Now, ito yung palaging nakakalimutan ng student. So, ito yung main problem, sub-problem. Specifically, this study seeks to answer the following questions. Ayan na. So, ito yung kasunod niya. How do varying degrees of blah, 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 blah. Yan na yung kanyang sub-problems. However, nakukulangan ako dito kasi dapat may mga variables. So, since it's how, what is the relationship? Medyo kulang. Dito napapasok yung in terms of ganyan, mga variables based doon sa inyong theories and based sa inyong RRL. So, yan. Okay? So, choose one. Kapag use hypothesis if your research tests the significance. So, let's say, for example, ang problem number 4 mo sa sub-problem ay, is there a significant relationship between, for example, between the profile of risk management, between the, ano ba to? Ito, remote work arrangement. Between the remote work arrangement across profile variables. So if you are looking for a significant relationship, then you will use hypothesis. So malamang null hypothesis tayo, no? So, paano mo isusulat yung null hypothesis na yan? There is no significant relationship between the remote work arrangement across profile variables. Okay? Kung, tandaan nyo, kung meron kayong significant relationship or significant difference, then you should have hypothesis. And sabi dito, format stated in the null form or HO. Okay? Klaro po sana tayo dyan. Pero kapag ang inyong, let's say, uh, ang SOP ninyo ay what, kunwari ito, SOP 3. For example, what are the problems encountered by work from, ano ba to? By remote workers. What are the problems encountered by remote workers in terms of what? Of, ano ba to? Considering factors like this. Okay. Arrangement or ano pa ba? Let's say, for example, fitness, kunwari. Siyempre. Equipment, pa ba? Ano bang kailangan sa dito? Ah, yung well-being pala. For example, ganyan. What are the problems encountered by remote workers in terms of equipment and well-being, for example? So, yung number 4 mo ay what are the proposed solutions to the problems encountered. So, kung ganyan, ang inyong ah kung ganyan ang inyong SOP, then you will proceed to write assumptions, not hypothesis. Yun po. Yun. Okay? So again, if your SOP is talking about a significant relationship or significant difference, then you will be writing your hypothesis. But if you do not have this one, you don't have significant relationships, and usually you will just find the problems and propose a solution. Then you will need to write your assumptions of the study. And I hope that I made this clear. Okay, ayan. So uh, next one is your methodology. So it must be explicit enough for another researcher to replicate your study. That is the correct title. So if, yeah, we are non-experimental because hindi naman tayo sciences na nag-ano ng chemical so kung ano man dyan. So we usually use research methodology as our subtopic or as our chapter topic or chapter title. So under yan, we have research design, instrumentation and data collection. Ano to? Instrumentation, design and validation. Instrument design and validation method. Sources of data, tools for data analysis, ethical consideration. Ayun. Tools for data analysis. Ito ba yun? Yeah. Mukhang, ayan, validity, reliability. Anyway, this will be under, ano naman, instrumentation and data collection. Okay. So, for the following topics, I think we have to undergo or we have to discuss again yung mga types ng research designs, or ano-ano ba yung mga types of sources of data, ganyan. Mas, hindi lang ganitong naka-bullet form or naka-enumerate kasi mahaba-haba ito. Marami kang dapat malaman dito. Yes. So, gagawa na lang ulit ako ng ano, ng additional notes dito. Kasi sa mga marketing na na-discuss na ito dati sa market research dapat. So, since wala kayong marketing research, so babalikan ulit natin. Yun. Okay. So, next one, presenting and discussing your results. Saka na to. Chapter 3 will be your thesis. So, present data, explain, interpret, connect, and state implications. So magpo-focus tayo sa next discussion dito sa chapter 2. Ayun. So, kung may questions, as usual, mag-leave na lang ng comment doon sa GTR. Ayun lang.